Hi everyone! I've got something today that's a little bit different from the product reviews I usually do. Hopefully it's also a little bit more helpful and more accessible for a lot of you guys. So I get asked a lot about recommendations for skincare for sensitive skin and for eczema. And although my skin isn't technically sensitive, like I can use most products and ingredients without issues, I do get eczema-like flare-ups, which I've talked about before here and on my blog. So today, I'm going to share my thoughts on a brand called Eczema Honey, which is launching online at Ulta today and in Ulta stores on August 15th. I'm not a doctor, so I can't give advice on medical conditions. It's one of the reasons that I've always been careful with my own discussions about my eczema-like flare-ups. But I can talk about my experiences with these flare-ups, the products that work for me, and what I've learned from researching ingredients to help with my personal issues. So that's what I'll be doing here, and as always, if you're in doubt, check with your doctor before beginning a new treatment regimen. As you might have guessed from the name, Eczema Honey is a line of skincare products that's formulated with honey, and it's targeted for the treatment of symptoms of eczema, which is also known as atopic dermatitis, which a lot of us have suffered from at some point in our lives. So there's some evidence to suggest that honey can help manage the symptoms of eczema. People have been using it since ancient times for a lot of skin irritations, and in modern times we've identified many of its benefits when applied topically, including some anti-inflammatory properties, which is actually one of the reasons that I love honey in skincare in general. So Eczema Honey also uses a lot of oat-derived ingredients. Oat ingredients, especially colloidal oatmeal, are strongly supported for reducing the dryness, the redness, the itchiness, the roughness, and the general irritation that's caused by eczema. So it could be a match made in heaven. So they sent me their line of products, which I've been trying out over the past few weeks. It's been long enough to figure out what my favorites are, which I'm going to be focusing on in this review. And I also happen to have another flare-up brewing recently, which was not just my face, but like a little bit of body too, which really let me put their claims to the test. So let's move on. Finally, one of the first things that I want to talk about with the entire line of Eczema Honey products is that their products are free of fragrances. So I've had this conversation with a lot of you guys lately about how it's ridiculous that a lot of products that are marketed for sensitive skin or even for eczema are actually scented. They'll use ingredients like lavender oil, bergamot oil, and these are actually pretty problematic for a lot of people with sensitive skin or eczema. So there's no scent in these, there's no essential oils, so that's a great place to start. So this is the real MVP for me. One morning, not that long ago, I washed my face and I noticed that I was starting to see the first signs of an impending flare-up on my face, which are pretty unmistakable. My skin, especially like right around here, lower half of my face, starts to feel really thin and sensitive, like pretty much everything burns. The texture gets rougher and I started to see the little red patches forming. So usually when that happens, there's not really anything I can do to stop it. Like all I can try to do is minimize the flare-up. So I always drop all my actives, I cut any newer products out of my routine until it passes, and then I just start babying my skin with lots of hydration and moisture. The Eczema Honey Soothing Facial Cream was new to me at the time, so technically I shouldn't have started it when I already knew I was going to have some problems, but since it's actually developed for eczema, I figured I might as well. So I started using it as my moisturizer morning and night, and oh my god, like I've never been able to stop a flare-up before, but the early warning signs faded like the first day that I was using it and they didn't come back. My skin is perfectly fine now, like nothing else happened, which is the first time. It's soft, smooth, and it's surprisingly light, which is another bonus right now, because most healing and barrier creams that I find suitable during a flare-up are on the heavier side. So the heavier textures of most of this type of cream make sense, since eczema-like flare-ups can cause skin to become really dry and prone to moisture loss. But it sucks during summer when it's hot and the idea of using a heavy cream, especially during the day under sunscreen, is like unbearable. So the Soothing Facial Cream sinks in quickly, it doesn't leave an oily or waxy residue. It does still moisturize well and hold in hydration. It has coconut and sunflower seed oils near the top of the ingredients list to do a good job of keeping my skin from drying out. For general soothing and anti-inflammatory purposes, this cream uses honey and oat kernel flour, which I also suspect helps it create the silky matte finish that it has, which is really awesome under sunscreen too. It also has aloe juice, glycerin, and hyaluronic acid to help deliver extra hydration, and it contains panthenol and niacinamide, which you guys are familiar with. It's 2 different forms of vitamin B that are well supported for having anti-inflammatory effects, among other skin benefits. On to my 2 other favorites in the line. So the Skin Soothing Cream is a more heavy-duty, protective, and treatment alternative to the Soothing Facial Cream. So where I really like the lightweight finish of the Soothing Facial Cream for just regular everyday use, and I will be using it regularly, especially as a preventative measure to hopefully cut down on these flare-ups somewhat, the Skin Soothing Cream feels much more medicinal. So per the drug facts on the label, the Skin Soothing Cream is actually approved by the FDA for the treatment of the irritation and itching due to eczema and other rashes. This uses colloidal oatmeal and honey in a richer, heavier, balm-type base that's mainly composed of olive and sweet almond oils with beeswax and sunflower seed oil too. So this one has been really great for the extreme dry patches that my flare-ups cause, because along with the brewing troubles that I had on my face, I had started to get those really characteristic, like itchy dry patches on the insides of my elbows. So this time when that happened, I slapped some of this stuff on them and I got relief within the first day. Like, it stopped itching, which was awesome because that was driving me crazy, and it stopped the whole flare-up from getting worse and allowed it to heal up way faster than I'm used to. I actually also use this, pro tip, as a protective layer around my mouth before I brush my teeth, because I really like strong foamy toothpaste and those are actually not super great for your face skin. So I put this on right before I brush my teeth, like all around here, and it's helped a ton. And finally, for my last trouble area, there's the Eczema Honey Oatmeal Hand Cream. So the issues that I have with my hands are a little bit different. Called dyshydrotic eczema, this manifests as little patches of tiny, insanely itchy little pinpoint blisters. Like, if you prick them, there's fluid that'll come out. Gross, but anyway, it drives me crazy and it hits me a lot in summertime. So keeping my hands moisturized helps to keep it at bay, but I really hate most hand creams. I'm sure I've talked about this somewhere before, because I hate it when my hands feel greasy, and I don't like it when the hand cream is super perfumey and then I have to like smell it and feel it on my face too if I touch my face. I also wash my hands a lot and I wash dishes a lot, so my hands in general really need help. Now, the oatmeal hand cream worked out for me in part because it's really reminiscent of the Soothing Facial Cream in how quickly it sinks in. It softens my hands up fast, it doesn't leave a greasy feeling, it doesn't smell like anything, and it calmed down a couple patches of those itchy bumps right away. I've enjoyed all the Eczema Honey products that they sent me, but these 3 products have been the real standouts for me. Again, Eczema Honey is launching online at Ulta.com today. They will be in Ulta stores on August 15th, and they're also available at Target. I promised some of you guys that I would talk a little bit about eczema and sensitive skin-friendly skincare, and these have been some great finds for my skin. I hope they can help you too. Thanks for watching.